All right, let's get into it. If you have any friends in tech, I guarantee you've heard them say the word Docker. It always sounds super complicated, right? Maybe a little bit intimidating. But here's the secret. The idea behind it is actually brilliant and surprisingly simple. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see what it is and why it's the invisible engine behind so much of the stuff you use online every single day. To really get Docker, we have to start with a problem. A really, really frustrating problem that has driven software developers crazy for, well, forever. It's the source of so many headaches, and it all comes down to this one infamous phrase, but it works on my machine. You know the scene. A developer builds something, it's flawless on their laptop, and then the second anyone else tries to run it, it just completely falls apart. So why does that even happen? Well, the thing is, no two computers are exactly alike. Think of each one as its own little unique ecosystem. My Mac has a slightly different setup than your Windows PC. You've got different programs installed, different system settings. All these tiny little differences can cause massive conflicts. It's kind of like trying to plug a lamp from Europe into an outlet in the US. The lamp is fine, the outlet is fine, but they just weren't designed to work together. All this chaos got people asking a really big question. What if we could just fix that? What if we could take a piece of software and bundle it up with everything it could possibly need to run, all the right code, the right tools, the perfect settings, and stick it all inside a universal box? A box that would work exactly the same no matter where you opened it. And believe it or not, the inspiration for this huge digital breakthrough didn't come from the world of tech at all. It came from global shipping. Yeah, seriously. See, before the 1950s, loading a cargo ship was a total mess. You had barrels, sacks, crates, all different shapes and sizes, all being loaded by hand. It was slow, it was expensive, and things broke all the time. The solution that changed everything? The standard shipping container. Just a simple, boring metal box that could hold anything and fit on any ship, train, or truck on the planet. It literally changed the world. And that right there is exactly what Docker does for software. It's the digital version of that shipping container. Docker lets you package up your application and everything it depends on into one standard self-contained unit. This container guarantees that your software is going to run the same every single time, no matter where you put it. That whole "it works on my machine" problem, gone, just solved.
Okay, so we get the big idea, the what. But how does this whole digital shipping thing actually work under the hood? Well, it all really boils down to three key parts. Let's walk through them, and we'll keep our shipping analogy going.
First up, every good shipment needs a packing list, right? You need to know what's inside the box. In the Docker world, this is called a Dockerfile. And don't let the name scare you. It's just a simple text file. It's a recipe, a set of step-by-step instructions. It says things like, hey, start with this basic operating system, then copy my app's code inside, then install this other tool, and when you start up, run this command. That's it. It's the blueprint. So once you have your packing list, that Docker file, you tell Docker to build the box. And what you get is called a Docker image. The image is the perfectly packed box, all sealed up and ready to go. It's a read-only template that has your app, the code, all the tools, everything from your list, all bundled together. It's like a snapshot, frozen in time, ready to be shipped anywhere. And finally, you get to the fun part. When you actually want to use the software, you take that image, that sealed box, and you tell Docker to run it. And that running, living, breathing thing is called a Docker container. It's the box in action. It's this perfect, isolated little world where your software is alive and doing its job. And the coolest part, you can create thousands of identical, perfect containers from that one single image. So let's just put it all together one more time. It's a really simple, logical flow. Step 1, you write the packing list, the Docker file. Step 2, you build the sealed box, the image. And step 3, you run the box, which creates a living, working container. List box action. It's a clean, repeatable, and incredibly powerful process. Now, this is such a huge deal because it's way, way better than the old way of doing things, which involves something called virtual machines, or VMs. A VM is basically like running a whole separate computer inside your computer. It needs its own copy of the entire operating system, which makes it super heavyweight. We're talking tens of gigabytes, and it takes forever to start up. Docker containers, though, they're ridiculously lightweight. They share the main computer's operating system, so they're tiny, just megabytes in size, and they can start up in a blink of an eye. And because these containers are so fast, so small, and so reliable, they have completely taken over the tech world.
So let's zoom out for a second and see the massive, real-world impact this simple idea of a digital shipping container has had.
To make life even easier for everyone, there's a place called Docker Hub. The best way to think about it is like a giant public library or a global shipping port for millions of these pre-built software boxes. You need a database for your app? Don't build it from scratch. Just go to Docker Hub and grab the official one. Need a web server? Same thing. It lets developers build amazing things by standing on the shoulders of giants.
And honestly, Docker is being used everywhere, for everything. That e-commerce site you shop on, during a huge sale, they can instantly spin up hundreds of identical containers to handle the traffic. Huge apps like Netflix are actually made of hundreds of tiny little services, each running in its own container. It's even used to keep old but critical software running safely on new computers or to manage thousands of smart devices out in the field.
Okay, I get it. This is all really cool for the tech folks building the software, but why should you care? As someone who just uses apps and websites, what does this actually mean for you?
Well, the thing is, Docker is the invisible hero behind so many of the services you use and love. It's the silent, reliable engine that's running in the background, making everything just work. You'll probably never see it, but you absolutely feel its benefits every single day. So what does this all boil down to for your favorite apps? Well, for one, they're way more reliable. They crash less because that whole works on my machine problem is basically gone. You get faster updates because developers can roll out new features and bug fixes super quickly and with confidence. And really importantly, your apps are more secure. Since everything is in its own little isolated box, a problem in one app can't spread and infect the whole system. When you step back and think about it, Docker just took a really chaotic, messy problem and solved it with a simple, universal standard. It proves that some of the most powerful ideas are the ones that just make things work, simply and reliably for everyone. Which kind of makes you wonder, if we can now perfectly pack and ship any piece of software to run anywhere in the world, instantly, what's the next impossible problem we're going to solve?